Greetings all. Thank you for joining us. This is a Yeshua, another point of view of Yeshua's life. So that's about it. It's been a long day, so uploaded a bunch of stuff, much insanity for all of you to enjoy. So, all right, much love, everyone, and I don't know if you want to say anything before I go.
Hi, it's Sajay. I'm going to be interviewing Yeshua from another point of view. So enjoy and thank you, Ivan, and blessings.
Thank you. Okay, all right, here we go. Much love. Greetings. Whoa.
Blessings, Yeshua. Thank you for coming through.
Thank you for having me here. This should bring much education to many of this different way of looking at things. So when you are ready,
Yes.
I'll be happy to.
Okay. I want to ask you about your life with Mary Magdalene. Do you want to give insight on Mary Magdalene and what she is to you and what she meant to you?
Much of it is a sacred relationship that is never much of the Bible has left much of our relationship out. And they wanted to paint her as incorrectly, but our connection was very peaceful. But also, yes, she was another me, you can say. She connected with my energies and we grew together into, yes, one person, but more, that's so much more than that. It's almost as if we multiplied ourselves, or we were many of us across this earth, as we can feel the pain of this world, but also bring it much healing. Also, that was much needed. That has been much lost within the teachings we gave to others. Much of it was misled and was not fully understood after my passing. So the both of us worked on the earth to regenerate the information to as if as I was resurrected, the information was being resurrected also, because much of it was painted another way after my passing. So the two of us united as one, but also united as many across this earth. You can say our other aspects were much involved in different ways. We were seen in different ways across this earth. But as our connection was very sacred, it is what many have been missing out on, the true story of that. At a later time, I'll go into more history of that, but most of that is personal, but I am an open book to all. Yes, it is romance that should have been told, but was kept from your people. A romance that took some time to blossom, but as it did, we became closer and closer, where we, even through death, we still held hands together But so much in your manuscripts of the Bible is so incomplete. So many holes within the scriptures that have been so much left out. And what has been left out will bring much clarity to many, and healing to many, as these preachers try to figure out what they are reading, because much of it doesn't even there to make much sense, to keep them puzzled. But that wasn't how the scripture was supposed to be. It was supposed to be very understanding. But many changed that to make it cryptic, you can say. It was not, that was never the intention of it. But over time it has been cryptic, and also translated poorly also for many reasons. To keep much of the truth away from you all. As you go into a self-healing, many of the religions are now, I want to say, somewhat backwards because of all that. But there's only so much we can do on the other side. And those that do find it properly, find the truth, are usually they do not usually live easy lifetimes as they try to bring it back into your reality. But our connection is immortal, but at a later time I will go into more details. It is a romance that needs to be told, but at this time, yes, soulmates, but so much more beyond that. That's all I gotta say.
Thank you for that. Do you think that it is important to portray Jesus as, to just bring Jesus down to the human level so people can connect to you much easier rather than looked upon as godlike, something that is out of reach? Do you think talking about your human experience further will help the masses?
Yes, I was very human like all of you. And for you all to learn my abilities was what I was trying to teach. Is that you too can heal yourself and others. And that was, I am just there to re-educate you on who you truly are. And so many find it easy to forget and to feel they don't have any power, but that is not the truth. So much has been lost in your society. Even during my time, there's so much mind control happening where they wanted, yes, religion says, taking me and putting me on a pedestal that is not healthy for anyone, feel like they are not worthy of my energies. But we are worthy of each other's energies. We are all equal. And for what the religions have done, the reason they did that is so they can control the masses easier. They use me as their spokesperson so they can sell their side of the story instead of the true side of the story. So that was to disconnect me from humanity also, and saying that you would never be able to do this on your own. This is a one-time thing. This will never happen again. But not to realize you can do these things on your own. You can connect to God. You can connect to healing also. And for me to say some will say I'm the greatest metaphysical, whatever you want to call, you all are. You are all learning at your own pace. You are all have so much greatness within that has been, see, even those that are connected to spirit put me on a pedestal. It is not right. We are all equal. It will bring much easy. It will make the teachings a lot easier. Not to say Jesus is above anyone, but I am equal as all of you, with many flaws also. I just had many lifetimes where I can clear out those aggressive lifetimes that many of you were living through. I can see through your eyes because I've been through it also. Thank you.
Thank you for that. So let's go to Jesus, the young boy. Did you have siblings? Did you have a normal upbringing?
Yes, And I did have brothers and sisters. Not to go into details, they don't want to be known at this time, but they will be eventually. But I was not alone, but I did went through many teachings. My father was, as I said earlier, was a great influence of me. He knew exactly, of course, my mother also, but my father was one that took me under his wing to protect me from others that did see a strangeness that was not normal, as my abilities were very active. My mother was there protecting me, but my father was easier for him to watch over me during this time. But mostly, I did live a normal childhood, yes. But there were others, yes. They do not want to be mentioned at this time. They feel the earth is not ready. They will be eventually, at a later time. Thank you.
Okay, fair enough. So maybe give us a little more details about yourself as a child. What type of a kid were you? Were you active? Were you mischievous? What type of a kid were you?
I was active. Well, I understand during my time I could see many things. I can hear God very clearly also. But yes, I was not. I had my moments where I wasn't always the proper child, a good child. I had my moments just like any other. Of course, I was seeing things that would seem disturbing to some, but I understood them also. So I was forced to hear them and to see life through their eyes. Much of the negativity here, but also the angels were much of my teachers also. You say that the angels were around me during this time. Adolescence, Michael was there. Many angels are there as my teachers during this. So yes, had a normal childhood, but it was easy for me to step away to live with others, with my angels and God, and even God, even during that time, already told me where my future was heading in adolescence. But it was not time yet, so I can be the normal child getting into trouble and to warning about how to be a human. So I had my imperfections as anyone else did. But God was there to advance my teachings where I can grow up a little bit quicker than others, a little bit more mature than others, so I can go on my path a little bit quicker. But of course, my path was totally different. So there were times of darkness I had to go into to see myself and so I could see others. I need to understand who I was first so I can understand how to talk to others and how to know who they were. So I found self love very early in life, but it was not always very easy to connect with. But yes, my brothers and sisters were there, but I was always, you can say, the child that was slightly apart from them because of my direction was so unique than theirs. But they were very much a part of it also. But I had to be separated to some degree because or they're not to get the attention that was about to come to me. So they can be in the shadows where I can be in the spotlight. So that was already, even as a child, that was seen. So many children saw me as a only child, as my brothers and sisters were kept from me. At times, as I grew up, they were kept away because of my direction in life was going to be much different. But they had to be around closely but not seen. So much of the scriptures kept them out for good reason. I know it's kind of vague. I'm not going into full details, but that's all I have.
That's perfect. Thank you. Now I want to move on from your childhood and go back to Mary Magdalene.
Yeah.
When you met or when you realized that you two are two of a kind, or however you want to word it. Was she a part of your support system, knowing that you're going into the crucifixion? Did she help you in any way?
Yes, on many ways. She understand when I saw it before it was coming. Can you imagine how one would feel, especially when they visualize themselves on the cross, especially the brutality they're going to go through? I was scared. I wanted to go into hiding. But she was there to, of course, I talked with God, of course, and the angels. But she was there as a support system, knowing, well, she would support me if I had to disappear. Or I had to face, most likely, I had to face this, but there was part of me that wanted to disappear. And I had a very good chance of doing that. But the message from God and the angels saying that was not what I came here to do, was to disappear. People needed me, but they needed to see me, to see the rage of the earth also, of how they would, how not all of the earth, but those that were in power, how they were, this, how they saw me. And the rest of the world had to see their point of view as I was a threat. But she was there. She was there no matter what decision I would make. Of course, she was there as I was going through this process. As you can see, even now I'm still picking up stress from that. She was there to help me heal, to connect with God, because even a part of me shut off from God because of that. Because I knew I can get away without having being harmed at all. I can escape, change my name, do something. But yes, the people would be hurt by that. But not to say I had to have an ending to my story, but that wasn't the reason I had to be here for the people, for their sins, and many other reasons. So I had no choice but to be a part of the plan that I decided to be a part of. But yes, it was very frustrating. I even saw, yes, even Judas, I was well aware of the direction that where much of this was going to go. And Judas is not truly depicted correctly in your writings at all. Very flawed individual who is not, but much of the stress he was received was, some of it was quite well deserved because of there's many gambling dealings he had. He was not a perfect person at all. Heart was sometimes in the right place, and sometimes it drifted off into not a. He did not truly fully know it himself. The reason I bring this up is because these are the things that I saw before my, as you know, my crucifixion. So she was there as my, you can say she was, because I explained much of this, what I saw. As you see, any other wife would say, just tell everybody what you are seeing or where you're going. Such as with Judas, I had some of that was actually true. As for one to portray me, would always be seen as the one portrayed me. But many would see he did not truly betray me, but he did not really help either. There were situations there that was not fully. It does not matter at this time because it did play a big part in my where I ended up. But yeah, she played a role as for healing me during the process of what, because I saw exactly where I was heading. As for the torture, and she saw all that also with me. So with all of these, it was nothing I would want anyone else to live, but many do in this. Even during times now, in your current times, it still happens. But she was there. During the time where I was being attacked by many of your Romans, I'll word it that way. I drifted out of my body into hers. because I could not handle the pain anymore during these times. I left my body. I was there, but not fully there. So I cannot feel the pains. I joined her soul during all this. So we were there together. Yes, we were together on the cross. That is very true. We were both. She felt my pain because we were combined at that time. Because I cannot handle what was happening. No one could. But many in these situations also leave their bodies. So I was there, but not fully there. We were combined souls, both of us outside of our bodies, but we both still felt the anguish of the moment. So there's much there to be. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. So after your resurrection, did she have any part in healing you? First of all, did you survive the crucifixion?
Yes. But of course, there's timelines where I did not, because many did not. They wanted me to be in that place of arriving back in spirit, where everyone sees me in spirit. That's what many wish to see. They that way I can live within their hearts forever. But yes, I did come back. I was not fully gone at all. Yes, I might have left my body, but I did return and was healed by Mary Magdalene. We both healed each other because I could feel the wounds on her also. So both of us were brutalized in that moment. And much, yes, the nails, these wounds were deep, but yes, wounded quickly, but still it was a long process of fully mentally being healed. The mental took some time, but the two of us did escape unnamed, unnoticed. There were rumors that I didn't survive, but the Romans won no part. There was actually investigations also into that, but they could not find me. And as long as they didn't find me, that was all that mattered to them. Because they knew if they ever saw me again, they would just put me back on the cross, basically. But they never found me again. There was much investigation into that.
Wow. Okay. Thank you for that. So after your survival and you escaped Israel, where did you go afterwards with Mary Magdalene?
Many places, mostly desert. We did find many tropical places to go unnamed. We went to places where we cannot be, where we would not stand out. We were places in Europe, not to go into details, I'd rather not go into. We were in your, what you call Sudan, in your Africa, Ethiopia, yes. Many places in Africa, I can tell you that. India is one, around the Red Sea. So we did travel much. But obviously, who's going to recognize me for who I was? But yes, as you say, places that have seen me, those places are correct, all of them. That will go as far as I'll go with that, all of them.
Perfect. Thank you. Did you and Mary Magdalene have any children during your time around the world?
Yes, several of them, but not to give you out numbers and races and all that. That is not needed.
That's fine.
There is a bloodline. There was a bloodline. The bloodline is being, at this time, some wish to resurrect it. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Did you at any point have any assistance from aliens in your journey?
Yes, all the time. Your what you call your Zeta Greys are around often, because I was one of them in a past life. Your Zetas, your Pleiadians, your Lion people, all of them, Arcturian, they all had a helping hand as for travel, but also for healing purposes also. Many miracles, much of the alien information, alien energies are used with miracles also.
Wow. Okay, thank you. Do you have a message to the world today? Like anything you want to leave us with?
Well, yes, do not see me as a god over any of you. I am no different than any of you. Yes, pray to yourself. You are all gods. You are all awakening to your abilities. You can master my abilities yourself, of course. But to many that feel that they can connect to me and feel like they're unworthy is not correct. Sometimes I feel like I'm unworthy to you by feeling that way. Do not put me on any pedestal at all, any type of throne. I am with all of you, in the sand, in the dirt, in the desert, whatever it might be. Your tears are my tears. And to be equal with all of you in this reality, or for you to realize you are so much better than this 3D life, as for many are awakened, ready for their eyes to be fully open. And those with your eyes opening, make sure you connect with others, but also understand them when they do not like what you have to say to them. Do not judge them. Love them. Because many are going to be going through much pain as their eyes awaken of their reality, thinking you're on a world by yourself. There's no angels, no spirits, no anything. It is very difficult for them to leave that reality of it's just humans with your objects and that is it. To tell them that you have spirits and all of this is very painful for many to realize this. It hurts so much for them to let go of their realities. To realize there is so much more. It's like a flower that's not ready to bloom and just stays shut forever. That is humanity, for the most part, at this time. Very beautiful, but very closed off. But look how beautiful when the flower opens up. So, I should say rose. That is more better. But either way.
I get it. Thank you. That was beautiful. I do have another question. Is Moses an earlier incarnation of you?
My energies are around him. Yes and no. Yes and no. I was with him during all those times of need. We weren't together, but I was with him very much. You can say I was technically a spirit guide of his. Let's put it that way.
Wow. Okay. Do you have any messages for me in my journey?
One moment. To not to worry what comes through. The unbelievable is usually the truth. Not always. Yes, to leave the skepticism aside and just let spirit speak to you. It is speaking to you and everyone else. And in this reality, it's hard to believe much of what's coming through. Yeah, so that makes life more interesting, doesn't it? This dull reality or living in, this controlled reality, you can call it a prison reality, it is breaking down slowly. We're all seeing it. This is a message for you and all for others also. Is that your reality of this third density is crumbling away slowly, and you are now seeing the landscapes of God more clearly. So, Just do not limit yourself. That is all.
Thank you so much for that. I do not have any further questions for you. This was very helpful for me and hopefully for everyone. So blessings, Yeshua. Thank you.
Yes. Much love to all of you. Yes, growing pains are hard, yes, but there's much needed for you to finally heal, and a reality is closed off as this one is, as you open up more. You will not feel so limited any longer. Blessings.
Blessings.
Okay. All right. Blessings, much love, and thank you all.